Hey guys, Gary Lucas with Obsidian Painting, and today I'm going to talk more about my commission painting. So I'm going to show you a bunch of examples and explain the quality and the price behind it. Here you go. So this is the tabletop quality, which is what I would use for armies, and essentially it's the most basic of how I paint. It does some really simple shading and highlighting, but other than that, it doesn't really go too much into anything else. I do cool effects in this. I don't skimp out like I did the rust on these guys, albeit a simplified version. But I'll also do like armor chipping, whatever, just something simple to make it look cool, weathering, right? Those kinds of things are easy to do, especially when you can do like all the base coating and highlighting and shading really fast. Then you can just go in afterwards and add these like cool little effects. So that's about $6 per model, and that's worth the amount of time that's put into it. And as the models get bigger, the price increases. Alright, so let's move on. So this is my display quality. I would use this for small squads of 5 to 10 guys or single models. It's around $20 per model, and the quality shows it. Essentially, I go into more in-depth blending techniques to make everything just look fantastic. And on top of that, I also add more advanced, just normal techniques. As you can see, the rust on this guy compared to the other orcs is just significantly better. It looks more like rust. And this is a model that is meant to be looked at up close. I mean, yeah, you can look at it from a distance and it'll still look fantastic, but even when you get up close to it, you can still see that there are little to no imperfections. Whereas with the other orcs, once you get up close, you can actually see, oh yeah, the blending isn't perfect, etc. So that's something to take into consideration. These models are something you'd be proud to display to your friends in a cabinet or on your shelf. And yeah, it's fantastic. So let's continue on. So competition level miniatures are the next step. These things range from $80 to $160 depending on what kind of time you want and how big the model is, what you're looking for. So with these, I go even further and make everything perfect. The sword on that Archaon model is just ridiculously good. Like, I blew my own mind when I painted that. And these are things that I would be comfortable taking to a painting competition, or, you know, entering it in some online competition. So these things are definitely good. I spend a lot of times with these. Sometimes these models can take a month or 2 months just to paint alone. So now this Sanguinor model, which is long time work in production or work in progress, it's the reason why it's taking so long to do is because I am making everything perfect. Like those wings, once again, another thing that just blows my mind. I didn't even imagine I could paint like that. So competition level models are for those extreme enthusiasts who really want to have perfect models to display. Like, they're literally works of art, and I pour my heart and soul into them. So my tank quality is a thing in itself. I only paint tanks one way. There's no tabletop quality tank I do. There's no display quality tank I do. I paint tanks one way. I mean, I'll paint it how you want it, but I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, lessen my ability or increase my ability for a tank. They're massive. I don't want to spend too much time on them. So they're around $15 for something small, $30 for about this size, and then $60 for something larger. This is not a finished tank, but it's a good idea of kind of like the basis of what I can do. So yeah, take that in consideration. I do bulk discounts, so if you want a bunch done, I'll give you a discount. Alright. So now let's talk about basing. So I have 3 levels of basing. This is standard. I essentially just throw some rocks on and paint it and make it look very basic. So this is about $4. This is about $4 per base. This is more so designed for armies. It's not designed for display miniatures or groups. This right here is what I would consider an embellished base. I went above and beyond and acquired other means, and I added things to the base to make it look more fantastic. In this particular case, I added a crap load of skulls and stuff, made it look cool. It's really hard to see the base here, but this is kind of a mix between a display and a embellished base. I added some green stuff, added a guy, and kind of, you know, painted it in different ways to make it look like the earth was cracking and hell itself was coming out. With display bases, they can range immensely in price depending on what you want, but they're around $20 because I also added in like a little plinth for him to stand on, and yeah, so they can be really cool. Sometimes I'll even go, like, if you really have a large budget, I can actually create you a base that takes probably more time to make and paint than the miniature itself, and can sometimes be just as astonishing as the miniature. So that's something to take into consideration when you're pricing out what you want and whatnot. So that's about it. That's everything I have to say about my commission painting. If you're interested, just let me know. I'd prefer doing smaller things like squads or single miniatures, but I will still do armies. And if you have a budget, just let me know and we can work something out. See you next time, guys.